So we're going to start lying down this morning, constructive rest. So coming to somewhere where you feel comfortable, knees bent, feet not too close to your bottom. And if you've got a blanket, folding it up and putting it under the back of your head for support. So nice to be outside.
You leave your lawn a bit flatter. I'll never balance on this.
You get extra points for balancing on this, Jill.
The tree's doing the tree. We're all right.
So before we start, have a little wriggle to really feel the contact between the back of your body and the floor. Just a little shift of the rib cage, the hips, the shoulders. Little wriggle of your feet, your toes. And then check how wide apart or how close together your feet need to be for your back to relax. So that might be feet as wide as the mat and your toes turned in and the knees drop together. Or maybe it's hip distance apart, anywhere that feels comfortable. And then turning your hands so you can feel the ground. I'm being buzzed by a bumblebee. You're going to feel how the grass feels. That tickly sensation in the damp grass, maybe the ground. And then contrast that with how your mat feels, that rubber texture and the bumps. And go between the two, just really noticing those different sensations. And then place your hands now on your edge of your hip bones and the lower tummy there. And wriggle your elbows out wide. Give your shoulders and your chest some space. And notice how that feels with the hands lightly placed on your tummy. And then if you haven't already, bring a gap between your back teeth. And let your head be heavy on the blanket or the mat. And notice how it feels to breathe. How your body moves with your breath. Also, let yourself be aware of the feeling of the sun on your skin, your clothes, and the breeze, the sounds of the garden. And then we'll very gently, while keeping the head heavy, start to roll your head one way and the other, just in your comfortable, easy range of motion. So you're feeling out where you meet that resistance in the neck. Not pushing through any strong sensations. For me, it's a very small movement this morning. I've got about 1 inch of movement, and that's all right. It's different every single day. So taking your heads very gently, slowly, side to side. To feel out the edges of where you can move with ease this morning. And stay away from any judgment words. It's not good or bad. It's sticky or interesting. Different. And as you go side to side, you might feel that range of motion starts to increase slowly. It might not. Again, it's the observation that's so important. Respecting whatever signals you're getting from your body. We'll do a few more. And then start to gently rock your knees side to side. Let the head be still. And with that same care and attention, noticing when your knees meet that resistance or the legs. How far can you move with ease? And there's a sensation you feel between your hands and your tummy. And the feeling of the back of your pelvis as it rolls across the floor gently. Gentle massage there. How the weight shifts across your feet. Maybe your feet roll, maybe it's a sense of the pressure shifting. And we'll all be different. Now, depending how your neck's feeling this morning, if you can comfortably start to add in the neck movement, facing the opposite way to your knees, and let your neck join in with a very gentle spinal twist, just as much as you can comfortably do right now. Still with that release through your jaw and your head heavy on the blanket. And then gently draw yourself back to center and take a big stretch of any kind, any movement that feels nice for you. So it might be a full body reach, might be something completely different. Big stretch. And then draw your knees into your chest and give them a big hug. And rock from side to side. And then with your hands on your knees, start to take the knees in small circles. Pulling the belly in a little, support the movement with your core. Just a little. I've got that massage across the lower back there. And then let's change direction. Again, just checking your jaw still released. You're not straining your neck at all. And then hug your knees into your chest again, another rock from side to side. And then placing the feet back on the floor, knees bent, back to constructive rest. Hands back where you feel the edge of your hip bones. Or on the floor actually, that might be nice for a bit of more support down on the floor. Feeling that sense of the grass or the mat underneath your hands and arms. And we'll pick up the right leg and start to freely move your right knee, knee bent. And you're exploring the full range of motion of your hip. So what's happening on the left side today? Right side. Anytime you want to lengthen the leg out and draw your knee back in again, give it a try. If it feels like it's too much, keep your knee bent. And we're trying to explore and play. Just see what happens when you move your leg, your knee to different places. Keep it random. You're curious about these different sensations you can experience, you're feeling. I'm going to place the right foot down and see what's happening on the left. And as always, your left doesn't need to match the right. The left's going to want to do its own thing. Moving freely, see what happens. And then drawing in the belly, let both knees float up. You can either come back to hands on your knees for a bit of support here, or freely move. Let the pelvis roll with you. See how it feels. Very much led by what your body wants to do. And then drawing the knees back into your chest for another hug. Another rock from side to side. You're going to roll over now. Take your time, come on up to hands and knees. And then back to a child's pose. So any variation of child's pose, whether it's knees together or knees wide, and lengthening the arms out, start to get that stretch in your sides, your armpits. If it's not comfortable to extend the arms, then you place them wherever it feels nice for you. Otherwise, reaching the arms out ahead and lengthening down one side, stretch those hands away and then soften as you breathe out and then lengthen up the other side. So you're going to do this at your speed with your breath. Inhale, reach one side, exhale, soften, and then the other way. And coming to center and both fingertips stretch away, press the hips back. And then walk your arms and your upper body over to the right. And take a deep breath over here. Drop your head. And then arms and upper body walk over to the left. And again, a deep breath into the ribs. Come on back to center. Lengthening again down the middle. And then on an inhale, bring yourself up to hands and knees. See how that feels. So we're going to start to move your spines freely. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. And moving any way that feels nice for your back. So it might be flexion with some cat-cows. Maybe it's a bit of a tailbone, taking the hips side to side. A bit of a wag of or something else altogether. You might circle the ribs. Anything at all. See how your back feels. Really lovely. So a couple more breaths to finish off that free movement, and then back to hands and knees, and we'll come to some more formal cat-cows. So shoulders away from your ears, fingers spread really wide and pressing right down to your fingertips, little softness in the elbows, and on the exhale, drawing your belly in, round your back, chin towards your chest. And on the inhale, shoulders away from your ears, lift the hips, and looking forward, but not so much that you feel that compression on the back of the neck. Just let your head follow that natural line of your spine. So moving at your speed, inhaling forwards, exhaling to round your back. Really listening to what feels best for your spine this morning and not pushing past that. We'll do two more together. And then coming back to center, down to your child's pose, stretching the arms out in front again. Still placing the fingers wide, pressing down to the right to the fingertips, because we're going to come up for hip circles. So inhale the hips up to the right, forward towards your kneeling plank, nice and strong in the core. Exhale the hips to the left and back down to your child. And of course you can make these any size you want. You can keep it much smaller, or as large as you like. Next time you come back towards child's pose, change direction. Inhale the hips up to the left. Exhale them to the right and back. One more in this direction. And then coming back to your child's pose. And then tucking your toes. Let's stretch our feet before we come up to downward dog. So your toe stretch. So you might be hands forwards. Take the weight off the toes if it feels strong. Maybe your high knees. Maybe you're sitting down. And we'll interlace our fingers, palms together, and then working through your wrists, figures of eights through your wrists. And come out the toe stretch anytime you need to. And then it's the other way, change direction. A little brain training. And then shake out your hands. Place them back on the mat, untuck your toes, pat your feet on the floor. And then your choice, either back to child's pose or tuck your toes, keep those elbows in and press back to a bent knee downward dog. And give your head a gentle shake to release some tension from your neck. Keep your knees really bent, like belly on thighs bent. Press the floor. Really lift your hips up to stretch your back as much as you can. And from there, maybe one leg at a time lowers a heel at a time, a little bit closer to the floor, but don't worry about it. Get that lovely stretch in your back. Lovely. Dropping down anytime you need to. Everybody coming back to hands and knees, untuck your toes. We're going to step the right foot forward, little kneeling sequence. And of course, any pads under your knees, it's quite soft on the grass, isn't it? You always place a blanket under your knees if you need to. So we're going to press down with the right foot and the left shin, and then draw your legs together, engaging the core, the belly, pulling everything up and in. Lift the chest, the ribs, arms reach up towards the sky, maybe even looking up as well. Some deep, slow breaths. Let the shoulders rise. Another breath. Hands together and exhale down to the midline. Those shoulders drop down. We're going to twist to the right, looking over the right shoulder. But again, keeping the stretch out of your lower back. So pressing that left hip, right hip, slightly away. Still pressing down to the ground, crown of the head up to the sky. Inhale to face forward. And exhale, stretch the arms out wide at shoulder height. Press your palms away and twist round to the left. Just a little. Inhale, arms up. Exhale them down to the floor either side of your front foot. And get a bit twisty. Weight in the left hand. Inhale that right arm up. Stretch it up to the sky. That's it, looking up if your neck's happy. Another breath. Exhale the hand down inside your right foot. Left arm lifts up for a twist on this side. Exhale your hand down. And then walk your right foot out towards the edge of the mat. Turn your toes out. Weight in your hands again. And then exploring any movement you have in this shape. So free movement. The knee might come out and in. Maybe you move the body, maybe you move your hands around. If you're open in the hips, you can always drop down a little lower. Getting ready to step back to a kneeling plank pose. So chest over thumbs, a little bit of a bend in the elbows. Belly pulled in and up. Aiming for that straight line-ish from your shoulders down towards your knees. And on an exhale, keeping your elbows into your sides, slowly lower all the way down. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take your feet a little wider. Head and chest lift. Exhale, lower down. We'll do 2 more back raises. Not pushing into the floor though. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release. 1 more. Hands slide back a little, elbows in. Come on up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. And again, your choice whether you go to a child's pose or up to a downward dog. And in your dog now, moving freely. So exploring your dog. Don't worry about the normal downward dog cues. Have a play. See where it takes you. Dropping back down to hands and knees. Untuck your toes. We're going to step left foot forward this time. Press down to the ground. Draw the legs together. Drawing the pelvic muscles in and up. Hands reach up to the sky. Have a look up towards the beautiful blue sky there, the blossom. Another deep breath. Hands to prayer. Down to your chest, shoulders sliding down. We'll twist it to the left. And that left hip pressing slightly away. And then through center, all the way out to the right. Press the hands away, flex your palms, big opening. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale down. We're going to take our twist on this side. So right hand down. Inhale the left arm up. It's a nice long spine. Press into the ground. Reach up to the sky with your left hand. Exhale your hand down. Let's see how we are on the other side. Right arm lifts. Exhale the hand down. Walk the left foot out. Turn your toes out. Doesn't matter how wide you go. Whatever feels right in your hips. And then playing around. Might be very different side to side. Feels a bit tighter on this side to me.
I realise even toenails can't. You can see them. You should get close.
When you're ready, let's step back to that kneeling plank. Shoulders away from the ears, nice and strong. Don't lock your elbows. And on your exhale, the elbows staying into your sides, slowly lowering all the way down. Roll your shoulders back, feet a little wider, give your lower back some space. This time we're going to change the breathing. I'm going to lift on an exhale and notice how it might feel different. So inhale to get ready. Exhale, engaging the belly, sweeping the head and chest up. Inhale down. Last one. Exhale down. High slide, hands slide back a bit, up to hands and knees. And then again, either to your child's pose or back up to a downward dog, whatever you like. Listening to whatever your energy is telling you this morning. And then we're going to all come together in a standing forward fold. So either walking your hands and feet together from your downward dog, nice bent knees, or stepping up from your child's pose. But bend your knees, hold opposite elbows, let go of the weight of your head, a gentle shake of your head again. And we'll take 3 deep breaths in, and as you breathe out, engaging the core and really squeezing your belly button in. Inhaling. 2 more of those in your own time. And then release your arms, softening the knees again, or roll on up. Reach your arms up as we're coming up to standing. Take your time. Reach up to the sky. Hands to prayer. Back down that midline. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Last one. We're going to sit back. See if you come up to the tops of your mats. And we're going to sit down to chair pose. So feet nice and stably wide, whatever feels comfortable. Sit your bottom back behind your knees. Engage the lower belly, lift your chest, press the hands together. Maybe sit down a little lower. Brilliant. So again, just make sure your hips are dropping back, the knees aren't coming too far forward of the ankles. Wonderful. Sink a little lower. And we'll twist this to the right. Don't worry about getting your elbows near knees, just take a twist to the right, and the centre, and the left. Back to centre, into your forward fold, and holding elbows now the other way round. So see if you can, lovely. Again, releasing your head. This time we'll let the body sway, and the sway coming from your hips. Inhale up to a flat back, so shoulder blades squeeze together, chest lifts, pull the belly in and up. Lovely. Looking down towards the ground as you roll up. Soften that down on an exhale. Step your right foot back. We're going to come up to warrior 2. So big cartwheel the arms up, out to shoulder height. And as you bend your left knee, a couple of things. Check it's running in line with your foot, not dropping in. Wonderful. And if you've bent your knee and it's come far forward of the ankle, just need to shuffle your foot towards me a little. So, strong in this pose, stretching the fingertips away, pushing both feet to the ground, checking you've got ribs over pelvis. Beautiful. So right hand down to right leg, left hand turns up, reach that behind you. Then shoulders away from your ears, keep that bend in the front knee. I'm going to take the left elbow to the left thigh and the right arm towards me, palm down. So building lots of heat in this left leg, lots of strength. And reach towards me. Come out anytime you need to. Back to warrior 2. And cartwheeling the hands to the floor, stepping back to either a kneeling or a full plank. One more breath. Hello, bumblebee. And then left knee down. We're going to come to a side plank. So swivel the left foot behind you. Right leg stays out straight. Let's lift up. Right arm. Reach the hips up. Reach the fingertips. Wonderful. And the other side. So let that hand come to the floor. Right knee down for your support. Left leg extends. Exhale the hand back down. Back to hands and knees. So this time we're going to extend the right leg and tuck your toes. Just check your wrists are sort of underneath your shoulders if that's comfortable. Hip square to the floor, press back into that right heel. Left arm reaching out away from you. And the option now to lift up the right leg. Foot flexed, pull your belly in, lift up through the heel. Reach those left fingers away. One more breath, brilliant. Bring that all down. Come back to a child's pose, arms anywhere that's comfortable. And you can shift around if that feels nice, move the ribs, maybe an arm stretch, anything. On your inhale, come on back up to hands and knees. We're going to do the other side. So left leg extends, toes tucked, hips square to the floor. Right arm reaches away. Maybe you lift that left leg. Having to work your core really strongly here. Brilliant. One more breath. Lift the leg a little higher. Release that back down to the ground. And this time, sitting back on your feet if your knees are happy. If they're not, come to child's pose. Roll your shoulders back and stretch out the front of your body. So roll the shoulders, lift the chest. Head anywhere that's comfortable. For me, that's roughly a fist distance between the chin and the chest. But stretch your shoulders. Now maybe picking up the hips and slightly tucking under, but be really wary with any kind of tuck, just so it feels like you're getting a nice lengthening across the thighs into the lower belly. Bring yourself back up. Planting the hands, we're coming up to a downward dog. We won't be here very long. And then walking back to a standing forward fold. Drop your head. You choose if you want the arms to dangle, if you'd rather hold opposite elbows. And slowly, take your time, roll on up. Let the arms lift. Hands to prayer, back down that midline. Shake it out. And then, does anybody want some water? All good? You're going to come back up to the top of the mat. Actually, I'll fix this way then. To the other side, so arms reach up. This time, engage the glutes and the core and maybe a little lean back. Exhale, squeeze the belly in. Come on up. We're going to leave our hands towards the sky for our chair pose. Shoulders down. Turn the hands and little fingers turn in. And again, sitting down to your chair. Then pulling the belly in and up. Chest and arms lift. And slow, steady breathing really helps. Maybe hips sink a little lower. Maybe you can engage the floor, the lower muscles a little bit more. Hands to prayer now, down to your chest. We'll twist that to the right. Maybe the elbow finds the knee. Doesn't have to at all. Holding it here, breathing. Through center, take that to the other side. Pressing the palms together. Back to center, into your forward fold. Any variation here you like to do. Inhaling up for your flat back. That's it, wonderful. Fold it down again. And then left foot stepping back, warrior two. Those left toes turned out. Bring yourself up, ribs over pelvis. Bending your right knee now. Knee tracking in line with your foot. That's it. Strong warrior pose. Wonderful. So left hand to left leg, right palm turns up, reach that back. Keep the bend in the knee, keep your knee tracking over your foot. Fantastic. An extended side angle stretch, so right elbow to right thigh, left hand reaches overhead, palm down, reaches towards knee. Good, back to warrior two. And cartwheel, hands down to the floor, take your plank pose. Knees up or knees down, chest over thumbs, trying not to lock your elbows. And then side plank, so either the right knee down for supported side plank, or heels swivel to the right, and that left hand lifts up. Fantastic. Exhale that left hand down, let's go to the other side. Hand back to the floor to your plank pose, and then lowering down either knees first or maybe in your plank. Take those feet wide, roll the shoulders back. Inhale to lift again. Exhale to soften. And then stack your head on your hands. Take your feet and make sure they're nice and wide. And have a little rock of the heels, hips. So you notice that connection between the front of your body and the floor. Bring your hands back by your sides, elbows in. Come on up now, all the way to a child's pose. Arms anywhere that's comfortable for you. Rest your forehead on something. And if it feels nice to move, to sway, listening to your body. Another breath. So up to you. You can try our toe balance as we come up, tucking your toes, or you can step up to a forward fold. If you want to try the toe balance, woohoo. So balancing on the balls of your feet, strong in the core. I'm going to take the arms up. I'm going to see if we can lift up on an exhale. So you can use the strength in your core at the same time and keep your heels lifted. So inhale to get ready. Exhale to stand up. Those heels down, very, very good. Shake it out. A bit of tea. Have some water if you want some. Can't see the time because I'm videoing. Let's have a look. You're doing well. We'll come back up to the tops of the mat. So standing in mountain pose, and taking that time to notice how your weight spread over your feet. And remember, we're aiming to hit all those points in the yoga triangle. So behind your big toe, little toe, centre of your heel. So move around a little and feel how that weight shifts over your feet. And see if you can, I know we're on the lumpy grass.
That's why I moved.
Yeah.
2 foot hold two.
Do your best to get as balanced as you can today. And then tensing your thighs, so draw the kneecaps up. We're going to exaggerate our mountain pose. Squeezing in the pelvic muscles, lifting up to behind the belly button. Lift the ribs. Shoulders roll back and down. Palms facing forwards as you stretch your fingertips down to the ground. Wonderful. Crown of the head up to the ceiling. Deep breath in. As you exhale, softening this pose until you feel a sense of lightness. So not completely collapsing. And that lightness is our mountain pose. Now check your balance. I'm on my right heel a little. So make any adjustments you need to. And then opening your eyes and find something to stare at on the floor 5 or 6 feet in front of you that's not moving, so I won't be any good. And then take the weight into your right foot. Then come to tree pose, our first class outside of the year. And bend the left knee, turn the knee out to the side. So you're taking the weight through that right leg, engaging the core strongly, crown of the head up to the ceiling. And decide if you're going to slide your left foot towards the right. It is wobbly on the grass. Maybe the foot picks up and places against the leg somewhere. It doesn't have to. So again, stretching the top of the head up to the sky, opening that hip. Just make sure you're not pressing your heel into your knee. It can be above or below. Come in and out of this as you like. Now trying now to hug your right knee into your left knee, into your chest. And circle your foot. You can always lean on something. Tree. Very, very good. Either staying where you are, practicing picking up that knee and hugging it, or right hand to the hip, flex your foot, open the knee out to the side. Very, very good. Come back to center, swap hands. That left hand opening behind you for more of a twist now, maybe even looking back towards that hand, that left hand. Right, yep, low left. Ah. Go back to center. Shake your leg out, very, very good. You would do all that on the other side. So in your mountain pose. And again, concentrating on how your weight's spread over your feet. Tensing the thighs, drawing the belly muscles in and up. Ribs are lifting away from your waist, shoulders are rolling back and down. Stretch those fingertips to the ground. Crown of the head up to the sky. And on an exhale, softening that grip. Finding that place of lightness. When you're ready, transferring the weight onto your left foot. Strong in the core, stretch the crown of the head to the sky. Bending the right knee, turning the knee out. That's your first option. Maybe the foot slides towards the ankle. Maybe it places on the leg. The slow, steady breaths are really going to help. One more breath. And we'll hug your knee into your chest. Maybe circling the ankle. Back the other way. And whoop. Holding the shin with your right hand, left hand to your hip. And open that knee out to the side. Into the center. Maybe left hand comes to that right shin as you pull it across the body slightly, that IT band stretch. Opening the right hand behind you. Maybe looking back. Just have a play, see what you get to, doesn't matter. And back to center. Shake out your leg, very, very good. And then get a little bit twisty. So let everything be like spaghetti. This twist can go all the way down to your feet. You can let your body organise itself. Bend the knees as you like. Let your arms just sort of like spaghetti. A couple more. Let that slowly unwind, so don't stop it suddenly. You're going to take the feet wider, toes turned out. Hands to prayer, sitting that down to a deep squat. And again, knees tracking over feet, but hips sinking behind you so your knees are staying roughly over your ankles. Strong in the lower belly, pressing your hands together. Sink a little lower. Then look down towards your thumbs, and as you slowly straighten your legs, take the arms up overhead. It's a bit wobbly. And exhale, hands down to your chest, sink back down to your squat. Our temple pose. And 2 more. And next time you're down in your squat, you're going to come to these side lunges. So again, hip sinking behind you. So you're leaning forward. You might want to take your feet wider. Whatever feels comfortable. And you can take your hands to your thighs if that helps. They can go down to the ground. Anything you like. Very good. Sinking as low as you comfortably can. Obviously making sure your knees are safe. Because this can be a much smaller movement. It doesn't have to be so deep. It can be wherever you like. And then back to center, turning your toes in, hands on the hips, nice strong core, long spine. We're going to fold down to halfway. And draw your feet together so you really get that isometric contraction. So pull the feet together. Try not to lock your knees, it's really hard here, especially if you're hyperextend. Another breath. Let your body fold down, release, let the back round. You're going to come to a wide leg forward fold, so toes turn in a little. Take your feet as wide as you want to. Get that inside leg stretch, completely up to you. When you're there, give your head a little shake. Release some tension from your neck. And then when you're ready, either walk or hop your feet together. Whoop. Come down to the floor. You're going to take a seated twist. Oh, I've got a worm there. Oh, it's back out in nature. It's good, isn't it? So legs out in front of you to start off with. So different options. So your left knee might stay straight. You might bend the knee and bring your thigh so it comes out in a straight line from your hip. That's option 1. And your right foot bent up. If that's too much for anybody's knees, right leg stays bent, left leg stays straight. So see how you are. Don't force anything. Your next option would be stepping the left foot over. But again, you don't need to at all. And wriggle that foot away so you get a little bit of space. And then a slight sway side to side. Probably feeling like there's more weight going down through the left side of the sitting bones, which is on me. You might not, you might feel even. But don't come to this place if you have to grimace to hold it. And then with your left hand holding the shin to get the IT band stretch again. Sitting up tall, twisting from the waist to look behind you. And that right hand behind to fingertips, bit of a lever. So you're encouraging that right shoulder back. Looking over there. Opposite ways over there. One more breath. And then leaving the legs in this shape, take your hands to the other side and find a counter stretch. Anywhere at all. Don't worry we've gone different directions because we're going to go in both ways in a minute. Don't know.
Which way am I going?
So the side with the foot planted, that's it. And any stretch at all. Just let your body organise it. Doesn't matter where you get to. Take your time, come on up, uncross your legs, give them a little shake. We'll do that on the other side, so Deciding if you're going to keep your right leg straight or maybe bend the knees so that thigh is coming out in a straight line from your hip. And again, this left foot might step in front, it might step over. If it steps over, you're going to make a bit of space. See how it feels to shift your weight from one sitting bone to the other. Just a little bit, a gentle rock. And then taking the left shin with the right hand, sitting up tall, left fingertips behind you. Lovely. Making sure your neck's comfortable. And slowly coming out of your twist, leaving the legs in that shape and taking a counter stretch anywhere at all. So play around with what feels nice. And take your time, come on up, uncross your legs, give them a shake. And then coming down, we'll extend the legs in front of you, we'll reach forward with a straight back, and then a slow exhale to lower down to the floor as you use that core control. All the way down. Let yourself release when you get down here. And bend your knees actually, feet on the floor, arms out wide. And we'll windscreen wiper the legs side to side. Maybe your head turns the opposite way. Have that gap between your back teeth. Let your head roll so your head's heavy on the floor. You can always grab your blanket again if that felt more comfortable. And knees back to center, hug them into your chest. Little rock from side to side. And then stretching your legs up to the sky, press up to the heels. Knees can be as bent as you like. Arms down to the ground for a bit of support. And again, freely moving your legs. Anything at all. Knees can be bent, legs can be straight. Whatever feels nice for you. Pull in your belly. You want to support this. It's not all just going through your back. That's really lovely. And then hugging your knees into your chest again. Maybe hands on top of your knees for small circles to massage your lower back if that feels nice. Or anything else you might want to do. And changing direction. And then hands falling down to the ground. Let the soles of your feet come together on the floor and your knees open out wide. That softness around your jaw. And let yourself be heavy on the floor. We're going to come into relaxation, so if anybody wants to put any other layers on, or grab a blanket, whatever you need to do, make yourself be cozy. So, bending your knees if your back's a little bit tight. You can lie on your back, lie on your side, sit up, anything at all that's comfortable. So traditional relaxation is feet wide, toes dropping out to the sides, backs of the hands on the floor, and arms far enough away from your body to help your shoulders release. But having said that, you go anywhere that you feel comfortable. And noticing again the connection with the back of your body and the floor. So noticing the weight of the back of your head, back of your shoulders, your rib cage, the weight of your hips, and your legs and feet. And as you exhale, give your weight down to the floor. Exhale and let go. Release. And soften down to the ground. Noticing how your body moves as you breathe in, and how you can use your exhale to release anything you don't need. Exhale and let go. Then for a few moments, if you'd like to, you could take your attention to all the sounds you can hear. The sounds of children at the school, distant traffic, of course the breeze in the trees, and some birds, the sound of my voice. How many different sounds can you be aware of? The sound of your breath. Let go of the listening meditation, and if you like, you could turn your attention to the sensations you can feel with your skin. The feeling of your clothes, the warmth of the sun, and that cool breeze. Maybe the grass underneath your arms. Anything else you might feel. And let that meditation ebb away. Then notice how you feel internally. So any signals at all from your nervous system. Maybe sensations of temperature or tingling, numbness, sensation of being alive, or however you experience it. It might be more textures, sounds, colours. And let that go. And just be. Notice your breath. So in a moment, I'd like you to take some deeper breaths and really notice how they feel. Whether you breathe more in the belly or the chest. The sensation of the air as it enters and leaves your body. Deepening your breath. And then when you're ready, bringing back some very gentle movement. So perhaps just your fingers, your toes. That might move to wrists and ankles. And then to any big wake-up stretches, any reaches, movements you want to do, anything at all. And take your time. When you're ready, hug your knees in. Little rock from side to side. And then roll onto one side. Take a few breaths there. And take your time. Don't come up to sitting until you're ready. Sitting anywhere at all that's comfortable. Doesn't need to be cross-legged. We'll just stretch together to close the practice. So we'll interlace our fingers, press the hands out. Deep breath in as you reach up to the sky. A strong exhale down. And again, inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale down. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
Upset the pigeon. He came with a great long bit. He looked at us and he dropped this bit round him. What's going on?
My garden. Oh, thank you, everybody.
It's lovely on the grass.